Carrie, when are you planning on coming over this year? Normally you always show up unexpectedly, so this year I'd like to have a rough time frame for when you'll be back so that I can have food and all that ready for you. So can you please give me a time when you'll likely be coming back?
Well, that's an odd question to be asking someone like me. You see, that house is my family's house, so I get to choose when I want to be home and don't have to tell anyone. And that means you're not going to hear a thing from me. Now, would you shut up and stop acting like that house has anything to do with you and get back to being my little brother's wife? Seeing you act all dumb and naive like that kind of makes me upset. Well, I suppose you aren't acting dumb or naive at all right now, and that's why you were forced to quit your job, right?
The reason for why I had to end up quitting my job is a reason that you should already be very familiar with, Carrie.
Shut up! Would you stop being so cocky like that towards me when all you are is an in-law? Honestly, you are the worst. How the hell can a complete stranger like you even be allowed in my family's house? You already had to quit your job, so there's pretty much no hope for you at all. Yet you went and crawled into your husband's family's house thinking that that was the next great thing you could do. What is wrong with you, Samantha? I would really like to meet whatever parents ended up raising you. I bet the both of them are just as useless and inexperienced as you are.
I understand that you really don't think highly of me at all, Carrie, but could you please just give me a date for when you think you might be coming back here? I plan on going out shopping for ingredients and things like that, so please let me know when you plan to be here.
For some reason, I think there's a little confusion here. I never said or meant to make you think that I hate you, Samantha. I am. I'm just making sure that a child like you gets a proper education so that you may become an adult like the rest of us. We all know that you just wandered into your husband's parents' home and have been doing whatever you please there this whole time. And the reason that has been allowed to persist is because both my parents are too soft.
Did you just say that I'm here doing whatever I please?
That's what I said. And one piece of evidence that I have to prove that is you having that lock on your bedroom door. Last year when I was there, you had a lock installed on your door, and that was really off to me. How dare you find privacy in my family's home when you're nothing more than my brother's wife?
You're talking about that? I just happened to fix the lock that was already on the door because it had been broken for so long. I rarely even use the lock on that door anyway.
Ugh, this is what I'm talking about. You are not some child anymore, so would you please give it all up already? Samantha, while we're all still being a little bit kind to you, you should take the chance to learn how to be a proper woman and a proper wife to my family.
I'm sorry, but so far not a thing you have said to me has been very kind at all.
Well then, I cannot believe I had to hear from you that you don't even accept my kindness towards you. Then allow me to just forget about being nice. You are not allowed to act as though you are something special to my family when you quit your job and became a parasite to my parents. You should be jealous of someone like me who actually has a job and is far more pretty than you in every aspect. But you're not even jealous or anything, which shows me that you don't understand the position you're in just yet. Just know that for the time being, you have to listen to and do everything I say. And the reason for that is because you're my little brother's wife. You've really done it now, making me eat something like that. Just because you hate me doesn't mean you can do something like that to me.
I do not hate you, and that was not meant to upset you in any way. If anything, it's you that got up and did something terrible to me.
I did something terrible to you? What? What terrible thing are you talking about? I'm the one who's the victim here, so don't start trying to act like you're the one who's hurt. You must always act that way in order to get your way with things. Is your head all right? Do you need to go and speak to a therapist or something about that?
Would you stop talking to me like that? You came home once again without telling us when you'd show up, and as you walked through the door, you began to complain about how tired you were and that you wanted me to make you dinner right then. So I had to hurry up and get something fixed up for you, so don't you get mad at me when this is on you. This is why I asked you when you'd be home, so that I could prepare for you.
Come on now, I was just being real with you is all. And I am. Look at your cooking. I'm not going to say it's all bad, but what you served me was inedible. That's why I told you it tasted like crap. I wouldn't even feed that garbage to some pigs. But the fact that you're getting mad over me just speaking the truth now just goes to show how much of a child you still are.
Honestly, I'm not even upset about you calling my food disgusting and saying it's not even fit for pigs. But just because you don't like it and think it tastes disgusting does not give you the right to take that bowl of soup and chuck it at my head.
Are you crazy, Carrie? What? You? Are you really saying that about me right now? The only one who's crazy here is you. The one that came into this house without ever paying for a thing, acting like you can just do as you please with no repercussion for it. Jeez, the moment something doesn't go your way, you freak out and act like a baby. And now you're calling me the crazy one for your actions? How hurtful! I am a victim to your harassment of me.
I told you that I have not been harassing you.
Stop trying to play dumb here, you idiot. I heard both my parents saying that what you cooked them was wonderful and tasted amazing. Yet for some reason my food was disgusting. You made my food disgusting on purpose, didn't you? I am finally back to see all of you again, so you should have A5 Wagyu beef ready for me to eat. You got that bowl of soup to your face because you served me some gross slop.
That's enough from you, Missy. Consider this the end of your life here.
What?
I'm so sorry, Samantha. I did not mean to take your phone and reply to Carrie like that.
You don't have to be sorry for that, Wayne. I'm sure that you were just as fed up with her as I was when you took a look at my phone. So thank you very much for stepping in there and ending that miserable conversation.
Well, of course I was going to end it. I will not sit there watching as my daughter starts to treat you as though you are nothing more than her slave. And what she did to you at the dinner table today was outrageous. Tell me, for how long has my daughter been treating you like that? Before, I had always thought that the two of you got along so well with one another, but what I saw today was anything but.
In front of all you guys, she puts on an act to make it seem as though her and I are close. But in reality, anytime she gets close to coming home, she starts to treat me like I'm lesser than all of you. And she seems to think that because she's my older sister-in-law that I have to listen to everything she says. Anytime I try and say anything back to her, she'll just get upset with me and start to call me an idiot and a child.
Why did you not talk with us about that sooner, Samantha?
I didn't want to say anything bad about your daughter at the time. It would make me feel bad talking about your guys' family in a mean way.
Well, thank you for thinking about how we'd feel. But there is no reason to hold back information about my daughter like that when she's been treating you like a monster.
But Wayne...
So here's what we'll do. We'll make sure you never have to hold any information back from my family again.
What?
You are my daughter, after all. So you have every right to say what you feel about us. And considering that I feel as though you're another daughter of mine, having to see you get hurt today by Carrie really, really upset me. So from here on out, you do everything to make sure Carrie can't hurt you anymore.
Samantha, I'm heading to the next town over today to get some shopping done, so would you get the van for me? I plan to go in 10 minutes, so hurry it up.
Carrie, before you start asking me to do even more things for you, isn't there something we should be talking about?
What? What should we be talking about? I don't have anything to tell you right now, honestly.
Don't you hide how you really feel from me. Did you not just throw a bowl of soup at my head yesterday? Yet you still have not apologized to me for any of what happened then, and are now asking me to drive you to the mall? Why do you think I'd still want to listen to anything you have to say and ask from me now?
What's all that about? I didn't do anything to deserve having you yell at me like that. You really are nothing but a spoiled brat, huh? The moment something you don't like happens, you quickly start to yell at everyone and anyone hoping for something to comfort you. How old are you again? Please grow up a little bit, all right? That is the reason no company or anything wants you working for them.
I want to know what your reason is for always belittling me like that. I get it. I got married a year before you could, but it was just a year, and really that shouldn't mean anything to you anyway.
I'm not belittling you over anything, Samantha. It's just the truth that you are below me.
What?
My husband happens to be a well-regarded elite, yet the man you married, my little brother, is a nobody. And the reason I can say that is because he ended up marrying a completely useless woman like you. Would you shut the hell up already? How dare you start to take jabs at my husband now? I don't care that he's your little brother. You are older than both of us and should be way more mature than that. Ugh, oh my God, getting all upset again, little missy? Nobody ever said you could just start yelling at me like that again. I wonder when the day will come when you just grow up and stop acting like a spoiled brat. Now, would you just get that van out here for me? As my little brother's wife, you should be forced to listen to every little thing I ask of you. I must be a really nice sister to be taking all this crap from you and still not having you kicked out of the house. You! What have you done to me? Hello, Carrie. You seem a little upset. Might I ask what's happened with you? Stop playing dumb. What the hell is this? I just got a call from the police saying that I'm being asked to come in as I'm being treated as a suspect now. This is your doing, isn't it? Ah, you want to talk about that? You've done a whole lot of things to me in the past, Carrie, but what happened yesterday was one step too far, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. And your dad was telling me that when the time came that I couldn't handle what you were doing to me anymore, to not try and withstand it anymore. Huh? Why the hell is my dad on your side right now? I know for a fact that by getting my dad all caught up in this, you're pissing him off. You cut this crap out right now, Samantha. I have always known you to act like a child, but this time you're being completely ridiculous. Please grow up already. I've thought about this for a very long time now, but you seem to do everything in your power to continue to think of me as a child. That's right. I mean, look at you. The moment something happens that you don't like, you just freak out right away and start to cry. And then you get all upset and start to yell at me. At least sometimes a kid ends up calming down and gives up, but in your case, you just keep carrying on whatever made-up grudge you have after flipping out. I have to say, considering that now, you are worse than a child. So far, it's been you acting like the child here, though, and that's why I find it a little bit concerning that you are still allowed to be treated as an adult. Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Tell me right now what things I've done that have made me look like a child. But, Carrie, just like a child, you go about your life lying all the time. You've been talking about me being the one that had to be forced to quit their job and now lives with your parents. Yet you're the one who has never had a job before and continue to just sit around as a housewife. I totally view the job of a housewife as being difficult and much like any other kind of work. But you aren't like other proper housewives. You always say that you never want to do any chores, so you hired a housekeeper to come all the time, and then go out to spend the rest of your husband's money on things like skin treatments and mani-pedis. Why do you know about that? Your husband, my brother-in-law. He started to talk with your mom about how your overstepping is becoming a real problem for him. You eavesdropped on that conversation? What kind of mannerless creature are you? What? I didn't eavesdrop on that conversation. I'm the one taking care of your mom all the time, so I'm always by your side. What? Last year, your mom's legs started to become really bad, and ever since then, she hasn't been able to really care for herself anymore. That's why I ended up quitting my job and moved in with your parents so that I could start watching after your mom. You were asked to come home by your dad already to take care of your mom, but you told him to get lost and have someone else do it. That someone else being me. So that's why I ended up hearing all about you as well, since I'm with her for about 3/4 of the day, every day. Of course, when she tells me she wants to be alone, I'll leave her be, but at the time she was talking to your husband, she kept me around. There's no way. I have kept all of this a secret from your dad and your brother in order to not embarrass you any. But I guess there was no point in being kind to you, was there? I've been bearing all of that crap for you for so long, but all this time you still haven't once learned about what you're doing is completely wrong. Learned that what I'm doing is wrong? I haven't done anything wrong, Samantha. All that crap about me spending money is something my husband and I have to chat about. It should never end up in the ears or mouth of a stranger. That would normally be the case, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. What? This whole time, Carrie, you've been treating me as though I'm a slave of yours or something, right?
You rarely ever come back to see your parents and brother, but when you do, every half a year to a year, you have me do all the work for you. You have me come out and get all your things for you. You have me cook all your food for you. You have me clean your room out for you and clean the shower for you. Honestly, all of that I could handle because I've been doing all of that stuff in the house for your mom and dad anyway. But you want to know what you've been doing this whole time that's really gotten me worked up? What I said made you more of a child than me and a very big liar? The fact that whenever you came back to this house, things like my brand bags and my jewelry go missing. But the crazy thing is they don't go missing for long, because every time on the day you're leaving to head back to your house, you wear that jewelry and hold those bags like you didn't just steal them from me. At first, I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, but then I started to think about when the lock to my bedroom broke. And guess what? The day it broke was back when you first came back to this house after I'd already moved in.
There. Oh, that's just, you just happen to have the same jewelry and brand bags that I have.
And whenever I'd ask you about all the things you took from me, you'd reply back by saying they're all yours. Every time, that's what you'd always say. And then you wouldn't just start to get upset with me for asking about my bags and jewelry, but you'd then start to put all those things out and show them to me, saying they were yours and bragging to me like you were some 5th grader. But all those times you'd been like family to me, and I was hoping that at some point in time you'd learn to grow up and stop stealing from me. You and I aren't even related by blood, yet I still viewed you as family and hoped you treating me like crap would end soon. I really, really, really had hope for you, Carrie. But I also really wanted to end all of that by bringing everything up to your family and having them take care of you. However, I was worried about your dad and the fact that he might become depressed hearing about how his middle-aged daughter has still not grown up. So I just kept taking all that crap from you.
Well, then you'd better keep taking it. You really aren't going to be able to handle what I'm serving up this time to you. Have you gone weak or something? Nobody cares that you get treated like garbage by me because that's what every wife like you experiences from their in-laws.
You're really going to say that when it's only you that's been treating me like garbage? After what you did to me with that bowl of soup, your dad told me to not hold back with you any longer. That's why I tore down that wall to defend myself against you and will now be going on the offensive. I'm tired of your crap, Carrie. After considering everything you've done to me, I made the choice to tell the police and asked them to handle your actions now.
You can't do that to me. Things of my brother's wife are also mine, so there's no way the police can come and arrest me over that. Not only are you younger than me by a bit, but the fact that you're now trying to have one of your own family members arrested is insane.
I think it's insane you consider me family now, after all that talk about how I'm a complete stranger.
Shut the hell up! You are just a frickin' idiot and have no idea the kind of person I am and how magnificent I can be. Well, no matter. I'm sure the police won't bother with what you've told them and only want me to come see them so that they can let me know how sorry they feel that I have to have an in-law like you. Well, when the time comes that you realize you've lost and not even the law will help you, I'll go and sell all your jewelry as a finishing move. But of course, don't feel as though I'm doing any of that in order to get you riled up.
I really am looking forward to seeing how much longer you'll be willing to act like such a brat. Carrie, just wanted to let you know that before, I had only told the police about how you were stealing from me. But after the way you continued to act yesterday, I made sure to update them about how you had also assaulted me with that bowl of soup. I hope you'll learn to regret everything you've done to me.
You really keep telling the police on me like they'll bother? Well, I'm sorry, but you're just wasting your time, little girl. You don't even have any evidence, yet you keep going to the police with your little crazy episodes. Are you really okay, mentally? Only a brainless idiot like yourself would be able to go through with all that stuff, not noticing how much you've been wasting your time. I'm sure it'll all come to bite you in the butt soon enough.
As of right now, the police are working on writing up a report on you. That will then be sent to an investigator and to a lawyer of my choosing.
Well, I'm not some criminal. There will be nothing they can do about me.
Is that right? I made sure to tell your husband about what's been going on as well, and so far, he's praying that you're not the one at fault for everything.
What? Wait, why would you tell my husband about this? I don't get what you'd have to gain by telling him about this.
Well, your house will be searched soon for evidence of you having stolen things from me. And there is also the chance you'll try to tamper with any evidence or witnesses. As of right now, the police see you as a suspect, and one who is very close to being a criminal. You still don't seem to get that, though, do you?
I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't even done anything worth feeling guilty about.
Then please continue doing what you've been doing. If nothing ends up coming from the investigation into you, then your husband won't have to divorce you and you'll be able to remain a part of this family.
What?
You said it yourself, didn't you? That your husband is an elite. And as an elite, he doesn't see the point in having himself a wife that commits crimes all the time. I'm sorry, but so far your husband doesn't seem 100% convinced that you're innocent and has been preparing for the worst. He told me that on his way home from work today, he'll be seeing a lawyer. If not even your husband is willing to side with you anymore, can you really call yourself a good wife? Who knows what'll happen next in a relationship where the husband is actively seeking out help from a lawyer in case his wife really is crazy. I'm sure things won't be ending well for you, though.
You stop that right now. If my elite husband throws me away, then I'll be screwed. If he divorces me, then there'll be nobody left to treat me like the queen I am.
As far as I'm aware, you've never been a queen, so what's the big deal? You need to start understanding that you're pretty much anything but a queen, and that you need to pay for lying to yourself that you are one. And understand that you having to pay for such a thing requires that you will never be able to do as you want again.
No way. Oh, this is all a load of crap. All of this is a freaking lie. Hey, Dad, why are you taking sides with that crappy and mean child? I am your actual little girl, right? All that creature is my brother's crazy wife who needs to learn how to listen and respect me. As my father and her father-in-law, you need to step in and make sure she can't act like a child anymore.
The only daughter I have now is Samantha.
What? What the hell? I'm your real daughter.
You are not my daughter at all. I understand that you have my blood, but even you don't see your mother and I as your real parents, right?
Of course I do. Both you and Mom are very important family to me.
Then tell me, Carrie, what have you done for us in the past 10 years that shows us you are still our loving daughter? When your mother started to have bad legs and couldn't care for herself anymore, you told us to get lost and have Samantha care for us.
That was just bad timing then.
That's right. That's exactly what we expected out of you. The timing wasn't right, and it's not like things mattered to you anyway because both your mother and I won't be around for much longer. You even live pretty close to us and still didn't come at all to see her when she was in the hospital. And outside of maybe a couple of times a year, you never stop over or even call either of us to say hi. Yet all this time, Samantha has been beside us. Even before moving in and leaving her job, she would come over every day after work and make sure your mother and I were fine.
The only reason she can do all of that is because she has all that time on her hands. She must think of herself as all that just for stopping by to see you both every day. Dad, you need to stop being tricked by that witch. She just thinks she can get away with anything now, all because she did a couple nice things for you both. She thinks she needs to be praised for those little insignificant things she's done, and that's not right.
The reason why we all praise her is because she's done enough to deserve it. She went and quit her well-paying job, all in order to move in with us and make sure that my wife, your mother, is being taken care of as her legs get worse and worse. She barely was even a part of the family when she first started to give up her time to come see us, having only just married your brother. Everything she has done and sacrificed for your mother and I are worth praising for, and she knows that. Unlike you, who expects to be spoiled for doing nothing at all.
But there's no way a woman like myself, who's become the wife of an elite, can have time to come out and care for you both. I don't even want to help care for you guys when I have a massive house of my own to live in. Also, those kinds of chores are what's expected from the younger brother's wife.
Did you just call taking care of your own mother and father a chore? That woman has done everything for not just her mother-in-law, but me. We would have been screwed had your brother not married a woman like her, because unlike the both of you, she's actually grown into a fine adult and knows how to take care of her family. Unlike both of you and your brother, who both seem to be indifferent when it comes to your family, she stepped in and made sure that even us two older folk are all right. Everything that your parents have right now is because of her.
Oh, please, Dad, you're the one that's done everything for yourself and for Mom. She hasn't done a single thing besides crawl into that house with you both after giving up the only job she had.
You're still going on like that? Can you just shut the hell up already, Carrie?
What?
You have done nothing for this family, and even when you have come home to us on those rare occasions, you didn't help with any of the chores while asking for Samantha to do everything for you. Something really bad must have happened to you when your mother and I raised you, because we never meant to raise a spoiled brat like you. I'm going to take responsibility for what you've become, and that's why I'm putting my foot down right here.
Putting your foot down?
You are not our daughter anymore. All you are now is a complete stranger to this family. You get out of this house right now and go home. And don't you ever, ever dare come back to this house again. Your mother and I will no longer even look at you when you ask for help. From now on, you are on your own.
What? No way, Dad. Oh, you have to be joking. There's no way you're cutting ties to me now. If you cut ties to me, then where am I going to go home to? Hey, Dad, listen to me, Dad. Where will I go? Help me, God dang it!
Samantha, Carrie was placed under arrest. Not only was she stealing from you, but also some of her friends' and husband's family members. There was a lot of evidence to prove all of that, so there was no way for her to get away from the police this time.
Wayne, thank you so much for updating me on that. I had honestly thought it was only me that she was stealing from all that time, but I guess there were other victims as well.
I am so sorry for that she had done. Had I done a better job both raising and watching over my daughter, none of this would have happened here. I never did a good enough job as her father, and it shows now.
None of this is your fault, Wayne. Of course kids take a lot from their parents as they get older. But that does not make them exact copies of you. And she is in her 40s now and has had plenty of years now to both correct her ways or only make them worse on her own. Therefore, she only has herself to blame for what she's done.
But
if you're really that upset about what's happened and want to continue blaming yourself, then I'm going to be worried about how you care for your grandchild.
what?
We'd been so focused on Carrie this whole time that it took me a while to find the right time to tell you this. And actually, I have 2 things to tell you about. The first being your wife's legs have actually started to get better again, and she can walk around a bit more on her own. And so I had a talk with her about what to do next, and she feels that it would be both better for herself and better for me that she get herself an actual caretaker. Because, well, I'm going to be having a baby here soon. That's the second piece of news that I needed to update you on. Both myself and your son want you guys to have a grandchild in your lives, and that's why we ended up going all in.
Are you serious? Samantha, you really are the best daughter a man like myself could ever ask for. You already went and spent so many years taking care of my wife as well as me. Now you're wanting to bring us a grandchild. I'm being very serious when I say that you are the best thing that's ever happened to us.
You don't have to thank me that much. This is really only the start of things to come for me, and there will be plenty of challenges I'll need to help with ahead. I might even have to start asking the both of you for some help. So please, in the future, would you be willing to give me a helping hand?
Of course I will. After all you've done for my family, that's the least I could do for you. I'll make sure to be there whenever you need me, and to help with whatever I can.
Thank you very much for saying that. From now on, I want to make sure that everyone helps out in raising my baby, little by little, so that they can one day be an even better adult than all of us. My sister-in-law was taken into custody by the police and would be sitting in jail for months as all the court cases from all of those that she harmed went by. She would end up owing a lot of people a lot of money and would go into some serious debt, paying everyone the amount they deserved. Also, while she was sitting in county going through all the cases, her husband went and handed in their divorce paperwork to the courthouse. After the divorce had gone through and she had been released from being held, she came back to an empty house as her ex had sold everything and moved away. She had no choice but to go to one of her distant aunt's places, as everyone else had already cut ties to her. There, she was forced to start working under her aunt at a store she owned, and would continue working there until she paid every bit of debt she was in off. As for what happened to myself after that mess, I gave birth to a little baby girl. My mother-in-law started to get a lot better on her feet again, and no longer needed much help at all from anyone besides her professional caretaker. My father-in-law has done wonders in making sure to watch after my daughter while I'm out of the house with my husband, and that smile he always had on his face returned as he now has his first grandchild to focus on. Everyone in the family looks to be really happy again, and there's not been one word about Carrie after she paid me back for all the items she stole from me.
Hey, Michelle, I really need to talk to you, and it's important. I can't overlook this any longer. Are you seriously going out again? Really? Is this necessary? You need to realize this. Going out every night is the worst thing that a housewife can do. You really need to take your role more seriously. Don't you think it's bad for Reese to be working late into the night? Are you even thinking about his needs right now? Don't you know how selfish you're being?
Rose, seriously? Are you really bringing up this whole situation again? Why must you do this to me all the time? It's making me so frustrated. No matter how many times I try to explain this to you, why don't you try and make an effort to understand? I direct traffic at night for my job, okay? I'm trying to do my best to contribute to our living expenses, so I've got no choice but to do this job. Things need to be paid for, and I work very hard. I don't think I have even gone out at night for the past few years or so. It's been a long time since I've gone out clubbing or anything like that.
I don't get you, Michelle. All you do is lie through your teeth. You're far from a suitable match for my son, Reese. All you are is trash, Michelle. You tell nothing but lies, and you're just an annoying little parasite that we can't get rid of from this house. This is the family house, and you're ruining everything. You need to stop all of these antics that you're doing and be a good and obedient housewife. This is not the time to be joking around, okay? Even if Reese forgives you for what you've been doing, I most certainly will not. You're just a spoiled brat who thinks they can do whatever they want.
Are you stuck in the 19th century or something? Your ideals are so old-fashioned and outdated, Rose, and no, I'm not a spoiled brat either. I haven't been lying at all, so I don't know where you're getting this information from about me going out and partying. Look, I'm about to start my shift, and I'm going to be busy. I'll have no time to reply to you until I'm done with work. Please understand that I don't play around at all. I'm a hard worker that's trying to do my best for my family. Stop with these accusations, please. That's all I ask of you.
But not only do you go out every night, you don't come back until really early in the morning. I just don't get what you're up to, Michelle. You know, Reese made a really big mistake choosing you as his wife. He obviously had no idea that you'd turn out like this and go behind his back in everything.
Please don't make me say it again. How many times must I repeat myself? I work nights, so all I do is leave the house. I don't go into town and drink or anything like that. If you think I'm telling lies, Rose, why don't you go and ask Reese about this? Maybe he can actually kick some sense into you since you're not listening to me.
But that's how I found out what you're doing in the first place. I went to Reese asking what was up with you. You're out at nighttime because you're trying to hook up with other men. You're using the family's money to go out and party because you don't have your own, and that's disgusting behavior. I gave you that money because I was feeling bad for you. I gave you the money from my own savings account. What kind of wife are you? I didn't think you intended on using up all the money, right? But seriously, why would you do this to me?
Whoa. Hang on a minute. What did you just say? Is that what Reese told you was going on? You do realize that's a huge and utter lie. Don't believe it.
Are you telling me that I should trust my witch of a daughter-in-law over my flesh and blood? You're telling me not to believe my own son? Are you stupid or something? I can't believe you just said that. There's no way I'd believe anything you say to me. Stop making such stupid requests to me. I'm laughing so much that my stomach hurts. Please stop.
That's enough, Rose. Fine. I guess I'll have to talk to Reese to figure out what he meant by all of that. We need to put everything on the table now.
What if I want to do what I want? I don't really care anymore about knowing what he said and didn't say. All I want is for you to stop going out at night immediately. Also, I want my money back, so give it to me. If I don't get my money back, you're going to regret entering this family. You'll never see the light of day.
That's it. I'm ending this conversation, but I don't want to hear any more of this crap. I'm going to go and talk to Reese about this. Don't bother me. You know, Reese, I have had enough with your mother thinking that I'm lying to her. What do you intend to do about it, huh?
Ugh, what do you want, Michelle? I'm kinda busy right now. I'm in the middle of work, and your message hasn't come at the best time.
You being in the middle of work, Reese, is you working at a bar. Now, come on. I'm trying to discuss some really important things with you.
I can't change the fact that I'm in the middle of work. It's a busy time at night. Now, if this isn't urgent, I need to get back to it. Otherwise, I'll be pulled up for having my phone out.
Well, this is urgent, Reese. Why don't you take me seriously? Look, I wanted to ask why you lied to your mother about what I'm doing. Why would you do that?
Wait, what? What are you talking about? Michelle, what lies are you referring to exactly? I talk to my mother a lot, you know? I lose track of what I say.
You lied to your mother about me going out and partying or something really late into the night and not coming home until the early morning. Why would you say something like that to her when you know for a fact that I don't do any of those sort of things? When do I even have the time to go out and go to clubs and get drunk, Reese? Hardly ever. So why did you lie to her that I do?
Oh, okay. I suppose I did say it like that now that I think about it. I can't help that now. It's a bit late to be arguing with me about it. I just needed to do that because I didn't have the money to spend on things I need. I just wanted more money. I've got no other reasons why I lied.
What? What the heck would you need a reason for? You made it all up in the first place, so why would you need a reason for your lies? Even though you have a low income, you still walk around like you own the place and that you have a lot of cash to spend, when in fact you don't at all. I know that you may or may not return the money someday, but if you need to borrow some money, just ask. It's okay. You can be honest about it.
There's no way that you can just say, just lend some money to me. Are you trying to make me look desperate or something? I shouldn't be asking a woman for money. You just don't understand what I'm going through right now, Michelle. Don't you realize how embarrassing it is to say the things I did to my mother?
If you think it's embarrassing to tell your mother about your money situation, why don't you try and change the situation you're in then? Don't lie to me and then falsely accuse me of things I haven't even done. Shouldn't you just face this yourself and be honest? Lying gets you nowhere in life.
Oh, would you just shut up, Michelle? You're literally driving me crazy. I'm so sick of you badgering me. Can't you just leave me in peace?
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Did you just tell me to shut up? What has gotten into you these days? I am trying to sort this mess out and you're making it difficult.
Even though you're younger than me, you act like an old hag and want to keep me on the straight and narrow. What's wrong with a little white lie, Michelle? When I see you standing in front of me sometimes, I can see how much you've aged in the time we've been married. You look so wrinkly, it's gross. You're completely different than the other girls that surround me. They're so much younger and prettier than you.
Yeah, but don't you see that the other people, including the girls that you work with, are basically university students with part-time jobs? Of course I'm totally different than them, but it doesn't give you the right to come at me about my looks. You're being so horrible right now, Reese.
Hey, you better watch your mouth. Don't you dare say things like that to me. I'm not going to forgive you for speaking in such a smart aleck manner.
I suppose they don't have to live with a trashy husband that disses his wife and has to live with his parents like I do. It's frustrating to deal with. Whatever you say, Reese. Look, I don't want to make things any more complicated than they already are. Just stop telling weird lies to your mother about me, all right? I don't need all this hassle from her anymore. It's getting beyond a joke. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you even listening to me, Reese? Hey! Are you going to reply to me or not? Ugh, stop wasting my time. I can't get over the fact that you're going almost every night a week. It's absolutely ridiculous. Since things didn't get any better, I decided to file a divorce for you both. Huh? You did what? What is with you making all of these hasty decisions? Since when did you have the right to do that to us? Also, you always message me at night, and it's really annoying because I'm in the middle of work, and I thought I told you about my job. Well, I'm tired of you lying about your job and lying about doing night shifts. I know you're just going out to party and get drunk all the time. It's stressful dealing with people like you. It makes my blood pressure rise, and that's not good for me at my age. Look, I don't have the time to discuss this matter with you right now. I'm in the middle of my night shift, and I need to focus on my work. You really think that you can just lie to me whenever you want, Michelle? I suppose I've got no choice but to let you do as you please. I guess that's a good thing, because I've already filed the divorce papers without asking for your permission. Wait, what? Why on earth would you do that without talking to me first? Have you completely lost your mind, Rose? I'm telling you that I filed the paperwork, and now all you need to do is pack up your things and leave the house. Please do that sooner rather than later. Just rewind and freeze. Hold on a second, all right? So, you've already filed the papers at the courthouse, and you thought it would be funny to not tell me? Hey, you're the one who already wrote down what you wanted in case anything like this happened. I'm really glad that you're going through with this. Now I can kick you out and not lose all of my dignity. All you are is a woman who likes to mess around with other men. Now I can finally make you disappear. Wow. I really can't believe any of this. You really did file the divorce papers at the courthouse. I never imagined you'd go that far into kicking me out of your life. So, while you're telling me all the things you've done, does Reese know what's going on? Does he know about the divorce you filed? No, Reese doesn't know what's going on, but I think I've made it pretty obvious that I didn't like you, and I'm sure my son doesn't like you anymore either. I think he'll be very happy about the decisions that have been made today, since he said he's always wanted a divorce from you. You just did what you wanted to do, which was to see those files submitted to the courthouse. You haven't even talked to Reese yet. How do you know that's actually what he wants? He hasn't confirmed anything with me, but you think this explanation is going to be enough for me to leave? Well, that's why I'm taking matters into my own hands now. So for goodness sake, just leave my house and leave my son alone. I want you to just disappear quickly so that I don't have to bother with any of this nonsense. Don't come back all mad. This kind of request you're making is basically impossible. How can I not be mad at what you've done to my marriage? But to be honest, I can't deal with your crap any longer, Rose. When I get back tomorrow morning, I'll pack my things and leave. Are you happy now? Is this what you want to happen to me? Leave me homeless and have my things piled up on the street? I don't want you coming inside this house. You could steal something and I wouldn't even realize. I'm going to throw your stuff outside on the lawn. It's dirty out there, so if I were you, I'd come and quickly pick it up so that none of your things get ruined. Don't come anywhere near the front door. Wait, what? You're going to throw it all outside? Why must you go that far, Rose, huh? I've never done anything remotely bad to you to deserve this. Didn't I just say to you that I can pick up my things tomorrow morning? Is that not good enough? I don't want you coming into the house because it makes me so angry to have you in my presence. I can't stand the faces you make at me. Really? I make you angry? Are you kidding? You're the one... Wait, you know what? Fine. I've got no energy to start a fight right now. Fine, just do what you must then. All you are is a scumbag wife that disobeys her husband and his family by going out late at night and not coming home until the early morning. You're old enough to know better than to do this sort of thing to my son. All you are is a piece of trash that parties and makes things worse. I've filed the divorce papers now, so that means you're not allowed to come into this house ever again. I mean it. Don't even try. Wow. I really can't believe you've done all these things. It must be such a huge accomplishment for you. I guess I should say, yay for you. Well done, Rose.
Don't patronize me, you little toad. I don't want to ever see your face around here ever again. You've ruined my son's life, and now I've ruined yours.
You know what? I'm not going to bother with the luggage. In fact, I'm happy because of this development in our relationship. Don't worry, I'll leave the house with a huge smile on my face. I'll leave the luggage behind and I'll go and collect only the important things. Well, you've mastered your plan so well, Rose. I pray that we'll never meet again after tomorrow.
You've got some nerve being a smart aleck towards me. You've always been such a scumbag daughter-in-law. I can now throw you out on the curb.
Whatever you say, Rose. Goodbye, you wrinkled old hag. Have a nice life. I hope that you'll age well, but we all know you won't.
What the heck did you just call me, you stupid little woman? How dare you speak like that to me? You should be ashamed of how you've treated me.
Not one bit, Rose. Besides, you've been putting me down from the start. If you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to work. I hope you've enjoyed this little conversation. Why on earth are you calling me, Rose? I thought you didn't ever want to see or hear from me again. What do you want now?
Don't you know how to answer your stupid phone? Pick up the phone right now. We need to have a little chat and you're avoiding me. I've been trying to get in touch with you since yesterday, but you keep ignoring my messages and calls. Why won't you answer your phone?
Why should I have to answer my phone to a woman who has been trying to sabotage me? I'm at work right now, so would you stop being such a nuisance for once in your life?
I've got every right to get in touch with you since I'm trying to get rid of you once and for all. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry, so why aren't you answering your phone?
Well, I don't want to pick up the phone when I see your name pop up on my screen. Also, how am I supposed to know about your little panic? I don't care, Rose. If you've got something to say to me right now, just message it through to me so I don't have to bother hearing your voice screaming at me from the other end.
Fine. What are we supposed to do about this loan? I've got no idea where it came from. What's going on here, Michelle?
Huh? What on earth are you babbling on about, Rose? You need to be more specific, otherwise I can't help you with what you're panicking about.
You know, just after you left the house, the living expenses started to disappear. Could it be that you're stealing money from the household budget? If you are, you need to give it back to me right away. I'm not having any of this crap pulled on me. It's my money and I want it right now.
Are you seriously accusing me of theft right now? I didn't steal any of your money, Rose. It's been more than a month since I've left that house. How could I possibly have stolen any money from you if I haven't been anywhere near the house?
Then why aren't my household finances up to scratch? Up until now, I should have had enough money to cover the expenses with the family's money. I can't pay for the loan, and the bank said that the debt collectors will come if I can't pay for it. Is this not making you feel bad right now?
Why would I feel bad? Also, did you not realize that it stopped when I left because I was the one paying for it for about a year?
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean the payments stopped when you left? You're confusing me so much right now.
You really thought that everything was covered by the family account because I had been putting money into the account to pay for things. I actually stopped doing that this month since you kicked me out, and basically I wasn't part of the family anymore. Don't you understand that this is the reason why you can't pay for the expenses or anything like that? I was the only one contributing. I don't think you should be going out of your way to ask me to pay back anything when I was being more responsible than anyone in the house.
What on earth was all that about? What do you mean you were the only one contributing to the house? Why are you the one paying for things when you don't even have a job? I definitely know that it's been Reese who's been paying for these mortgage payments and expenses. It's obviously his income going towards it.
Okay, if you think that, why don't you just ask him to pay for the loans? I'm sure he'll be more than happy to help out, but that's if he can pay for it, that is.
Okay, he just turned around and told me that he can't afford to pay off the loans we have. What the heck is going on around here? I thought that he was the one that was paying for the loan up until the bank requested the payments. Michelle, you need to be straight with me. Explain to me what's going on.
I've got hardly anything to explain to you. I think understanding the truth is a pretty simple thing to do, Rose. There's no way Reese can pay the loans off, right? He's such an incompetent person and has never been good with money until he met me. He only earns about $2,000 a month for his job.
Excuse me? How could it be that he's only earning $2,000 a month? What is with these accusations, Michelle? Stop messing around.
Hey, I'm just telling you the truth, Rose. Reese hardly works at all, so that's why he earns so little. He's working at a bar that he normally eats and drinks at. The maximum salary that he makes for his job and puts it into the family account is about $2,000 a month. It doesn't go very far.
A bar? He's been working at a bar? Since when did this happen? Is that really all the work he's doing?
Yes, and he's been only working there in the evenings. You know that ordinary office workers don't typically go to work in the evenings, right? I'm surprised you didn't notice what he was doing until now. You really don't take much notice of what we do you?
So my son has basically been out at nighttime because he's working at a bar that really only has customers in the evenings?
Yes, he does night shifts at the bar, so he's there until like 11 or 12 at night. But I've had to work day and night to be able to pay for important things. There's just no need to compare what we do, but you can't deny that I've worked hard and I did the best that I could do. I've been supporting such an annoying man and his troublesome parents for too long. Even if you were grateful, do you think I'd still give you money?
Please, just hang on a minute there, Michelle. I'm really not understanding this at all. I'm just in shock, you know. Reese only earns $2,000 a month? But he's in his 30s. He should have a better job by now. Is it even possible to live on $2,000 a month these days?
Why don't you ask your son all of these questions instead of me? If you're not going to believe me, please just ask the person in question. In fact, I'm really just a stranger to this family, and that's how I feel about all of you too. Isn't it pointless to contact me?
So, has this really been what you've been doing up until now? You've been paying for all of our living expenses?
Yes, that's right. But you were the one who never believed what I said, and it's all because of your lousy son who refused to work more than he does now. Not only do I work during the day, but I work as a traffic director at night as well. I was making enough money that I could save it all by myself. You know, I feel like most of the time you were all exploiting me anyways.
Wait, what did you say? You're a traffic director as well? At night? So, you were never going out drinking or clubbing? Nothing like that?
How many times do I have to tell you that I never did anything like that? You were so persistent to make me feel guilty and prove that you were right. And that you never realized that you'd been deceived by your idiot son. He never told you what he did for work, Rose? It's too late to even be talking about what happened. Well, thanks to you, Rose, I'm getting a divorce and I'm free to do whatever I like. It's great to be able to say goodbye to the scumbag of a husband. He was so useless and never helped with anything.
Until now, I'd only believed what Reese was telling me. I really thought that you were lying to cover up what you were doing, but you were just helping out.
It's about time you realized what your son is truly like. You brought him up, so you should know what he's like. Do you understand how he grew up now? This is the kind of person he is, Rose. You never wanted to believe that he was lazy and lousy, but it's true. He's so useless at providing for anyone but himself. Well, now that you know the truth, I guess I can leave it to you to solve the rest of your problems. I'll say it again, this has nothing to do with me anymore.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with you? Of course you're involved in this mess. What am I supposed to do about this loan? I can't pay for it on my own. I just thought that Reese was covering the expenses, so I had no idea that it was really you who was paying off the mortgage. Please help. What should I do?
Why should I help you, you old hag? You're the one that pushed me out, so why should I help with your financial turmoil?
Excuse me, how dare you talk to me like this? You can't do this to us. Just come back to the house. We can reverse the divorce papers. I'm sure my son will take you back.
I'm not doing anything to help you or your lousy son. You treated me so badly, and I don't intend to go back to the way things were.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Just please help us. We can't be kicked out onto the street. We wouldn't survive. Please, we need you to help us. I'm begging you.
No, I don't want anything to do with you or your family anymore. I'm free to do whatever I like now. I'm cutting you off. You dug your own grave, so lie in it. Good luck with everything. You're going to need it. Tell Reese to go out and get a better job. In the end, Rose continued to ask Michelle for help with the mortgage repayments. Michelle ignored her requests and she fell into a fit of despair. Michelle finally cut ties with Reese and the rest of his family. By doing that, she was able to live a much richer life. She felt mentally and physically free from their grasp. Meanwhile, Rose's family began to live in fear of their debt. It's a result of her own doing, so there's really nothing that could have been done to help them. Apparently, the entire family now works at a factory from morning to night. Let's hope they pay off their debts.
Hey, are you home? Open up. Tina? Where are you? Right in front of your house. How long are you going to make me wait? I'm sorry, were we expecting you today? No! Do I need a reason to come to my son's house? Is that what you're implying? No. I'm out, so I can't come to the door. We weren't expecting any visits. Work? Your office is near the house, right? Come over here immediately. I can't. It doesn't work that way. Please understand. So you're telling me to wait hours for you to come home? How dare you? You know I work full-time. You're the one coming unannounced. Wouldn't you think it's obvious that you're in the wrong? None of your cheeky business. Whatever. I still can't be there right now. I have to earn a living. Call your son. I can't get through with my son. That's why I'm here, isn't it? We didn't ask of you. What? Your son's home, by the way. Wake him up if you please. He'll let you in. What? Wake him up? Is he still sleeping? He was out late and came home in the morning. He was drinking, so I don't think he'll be up till afternoon. He was out that long? Oh my boy, he must be so stressed. I guess so? Is there malice in what you're saying? Of course, I'm saying you're the one responsible. My son never took a sip of alcohol until he married you. You must be a bad influence to him, stressing him out. Are you saying that our marriage is the cause of his stress? It must be least affecting him somehow, living far away from me, never allowed to see his parents. He must be having a hard time. I always tell him that he can go wherever or whenever as much as he pleases. As a matter of fact, he actually visits you every weekend. And what is wrong with that? You won't let him be free to come back home. Okay, I never said that. He was out drinking with his friends last night. He's not sleeping in because he's stressed. He's just tired because he stayed up the night. Even so, his drinking habit is all because of you. You're owning to this stress. I seriously doubt that. He seems to be living a stress-free lifestyle as far as I know. What are you talking about? Anyways, it's not a good idea for you to be at the front door for so long, and I can't be there, so please kill the time or go on home. Wait, can't you bring me the keys over lunch break or something? What's the meaning of a lunch break if I don't get any break? I need to eat. No, you don't. You think lunch is more important than me? As I said, you can go home. I'm not getting off until 5 p.m. How dare you! To think I came for nothing. You should have called beforehand or talked to your son. I can only be at home on the weekends. I know that, but you should get off work on the days I come. I didn't know you were coming, okay? I just got a text. He's woken up. Oh, good for you. I'll be waiting inside till you come back. Come home soon. What? You don't need to wait up for me. Are you there, Tina? Tina, how long are you intending to stay? As long as I want. It's my right as a mother. That may be so, but it's draining our schedule. How rude! My son says he has still 3 days off. I'm planning to stay for the time being. You don't mind, do you? No, but would your husband be okay alone? I don't care about him. He keeps on complaining on everything I do. I think it's the best for us if I just never went back, you know. What do you mean by that? I mean, I would come live with you two. That will teach my husband a lesson. I don't think that's a good idea. Did you two fight? Not a fight to be exact. I said to him that we should live in with our son and make for their own good. He objects. Haha, that's the reason of the fight. Yes, so it clearly involves you. But then, he was really mean to me. Let the newlyweds have their space, he says. Right, now I get it. I'm just concerned about your future. What if one of us gets sick? Or if you have grandchildren? We should be supporting each other, don't you think? I think that doesn't mean we should live together in the same house. What are you talking about? Your husband is my only son. He is the one who will take care of us in our old age. Our grandchild is our precious heir. I need to supervise your parenthood, or else who knows how the poor child will end up. Even if we have children, they will be our child before your grandchild. I will bring him up how I would want to. No way! I can't allow that! This is why you are not suitable for my son. Suitable? A bride's only job is to deliver a baby. Bringing up a child should be done by the groom's experienced parents. My husband and I will make the child a proud heir. I have never heard such a thing. So you're saying you're going to take away my child from me? Yes. You're working full-time anyways and won't have time to care. And if there's a possibility you would quit your job after childbirth, all the pressure is on our son. I have every right to bring up my own child. You can take them away from me. It's not normal. Oh, but it is. You just don't understand it. What you're saying is, my husband and his sister was brought up by their grandparents as well. Not in their case. I didn't have a job. What? Then I'll quit mine. Huh? If your husband brought food to the table and you nurtured the children at home, it won't be that different for your son to work and for me to be a stay-at-home wife. You're not listening to me. This will be a burden for him. It's a burden for me too. I have to take care of someone's life at home. Stop squibbling, you. I don't intend on having a child I can't parent. We're not stable enough as it is. You're already 27. When I was your age, I already gave birth to 2. Different times and different measures. If we had twice the income and savings, then we might think about having children. How come you don't have enough savings? You both work jobs. You don't know? Figures. I've been trying to tell you, your son's unemployed. Don't lie to me. That isn't possible. It's your fault you can't manage the books. You must be on a spending spree or something. I only get my hair done twice a year. I work full-time every day. And on a spending spree? What kind of meds are you on? I heard from my own son. He's been working so hard and you make him do house chores. Huh? Who's working so hard? My son. He's lying to you. He spends his day playing games and the least he can do is housework. I think it will be good for him. That's enough. You don't get a say in what your husband does. If he doesn't want to do the chores, then tell him to go get a job and earn more than me. I don't want any part in this argument. You'll regret this. I'm telling you. If you say so. I don't care in the slightest. I'm going back to work. Wait, we're not done yet. Are you there, Mick? Is it true you're going to be away this weekend on a business trip? Yes. Then I'll stay over again this week while you're gone. My son and I need some bonding together. Your son said he'll be out drinking with his friends. Won't be back till morning again. I already talked to him about that. Okay, sure. Do whatever you want. I don't need your permission. It's my son's house. I need to check. You're only home on Sunday, right? That's the plan. I was thinking of popping to check in on my parents and be back by Sunday afternoon. Is that so? Why don't you stay with them for a while? It's closer to your office too. There will be too much luggage and my files are back at the house, so I need to come home anyways. Oh, come on and have some time for yourself. My son and I are planning to declutter the house on Sunday. You know how he hoards stuff in his room. We were talking that I should get on with it while I'm there. Oh, very well. I can help. It's okay. You're always tired. We'll handle everything. Think of it as a small getaway. Me? Tired? A getaway? You said you were busy with work. It'll get dusty and noisy when we're cleaning. It's better for all of us. What are you up to? I'm not up to anything. You make me seem hateful. I was honestly just trying to help. Right. I'll take you up on the offer. I'll pack my things for the weekend and take them with me on a trip. I'll see you Monday then. Wonderful. Take as much time as you want. It still feels weird. I can't explain it. What is going on? Oh, you're back. How was the trip? Please explain. There's no explanation. It's as it seems. My son and I moved out. What? If you desperately want us to come back, apologize for what you've done. Beg for it in tears. We might consider. What will it be? What do I need to apologize for? How can you be so selfish? You're the one that's selfish, disregarding both your husband and I. Won't have any children. Always working and never cared for the family. It's as if you're wearing the pants in this house. You know there's a logic reason. I don't care about your reasoning. You want your husband back? Let all of us live together as a family. What? If you accept, then we'll tell you where we are. I guess I'll never find out then. What? For the life of me, I don't give a damn about your whereabouts. But it will be inconvenient to live on like this. Can you have your son sign the divorce papers? Wait a minute. You aren't seriously letting us go? Dead serious. Actually, it's a dream come true. I finally get the parasite out of my life. Huh? You are the parasite, the good-for-nothing wife. Nuh-uh, your son can't hold down a job. You aren't capable of listening anything that I say. Barging into my house and linger for days. Hold down who? Your son. I already told you. He's a damn couch potato. I have never heard of this. Why don't you look back at all of our texts? I explained it to you because you were so persistent. We talked about the house chores. Don't you remember? My son hasn't told me anything. He did threaten me not to tell his parents. I tried to keep quiet, but I've reached my limit. I can't keep his ego in check for him. Some useless ego he has. Are you making fun of him? Not only him. You too, Tina. What? My brilliant son. My apple in my eye. If only he didn't marry her. And so on. It makes me laugh. Your son is a no good man than you think. Have you no shame, harassing us like that? Who's harassing who? You never cared about a word I said. That's because you never fully explained anything. I did, but you didn't believe me. No, you choose to speak so we can't comprehend. Fine, I'll start from the top. Keep your eyes and ears open this time, okay? Huh? Your son quit his job 3 months ago. Since then, he hasn't looked for a new employment and became the loser couch potato that he is. Who are you calling a loser? Your precious son, of course. I'm the one bringing food to the table, working my ass off morning to night. I paid for your living while you stayed with us. You see how it won't help me or you financially if you lived with us? I don't believe you. My son can't be. I was waiting for him to get on his knees and beg for mercy while he would hunt on a job. But that never happened, and even allowed you to manipulate our lives. The nerve. Wait, wouldn't it be beneficial for you to live with us? How would it be beneficial? More people equal more chores. I have never seen you help us in the house, like doing the laundry or cleaning the dishes. I just thought I should respect not to touch others' belongings. Respect? You talk of respect when you barge in your son's house unannounced? You care about that? Well, Besides, you just went back to your own house, didn't you? Judging by the heavier belongings that are still here, my guess is that you couldn't afford to have someone carry them. Your son's unemployed and he doesn't have the money, not even to get a new place. I don't understand. This is the part where you beg us for our forgiveness. No way. If you want things done the way you want it, turn your personality around 180 degrees and have your son find a job for God's sake. It's your job as a wife to support your husband. Just because you have a job, big deal. And I supported him for months. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, I can't take any more responsibility in what he does. Good luck finding a suitor who can endure a loser of a husband and his blood-sucking mother. I highly doubt there will be one. You're not serious about the divorce? Of course I am. You started this war. I was only taking a chance. To be honest, I'm really happy. It's like the trash took itself out. By the way, I had the locks changed, so don't bother coming to visit. Why would you do that? That's still my son's house. Actually, no. It's my house. I bought it when I was still living on my own, and I have a strict policy. No losers allowed. Screw you! You'll regret what you've done. Don't worry. I won't. I'm starting a new life for myself and only myself. You're leaving your husband for good? That's what I'm saying this whole time. I give up. Have fun bonding together. If I don't get the signed divorce papers in a week, expect to see me in court. Brace yourselves. Court? Wait, you can't embarrass us that way. Then, have the papers ready in a week. Oh, and there's no property worth splitting in this house, so don't expect to get anything from me. It's time you start paying for your keep. Huh? Hold on a second. Hey, are you listening to me? Mick! Few hours later, there were some disturbances caused by two people outside of my house, so I got the father-in-law to pick them up. He put his foot down on them. The divorce papers arrived several days later, so I sent them the remaining possessions, and I myself moved out of that house. Being alone gave me the opportunity to save up. Now I can have the luxury to spend money on myself. I had a little regret on not getting rid of those parasites long ago. But you only live life once, and I want to give life to the fullest from now on.
So you must be Jesse. The man that was moved into the headquarters building from the small office out in the middle of nowhere, right? It must be tough for someone from the country to come live in this huge city.
Bernard, thank you for having me here. Of course, it's been a long time since I've been to the city, so my first few months here may have been tough for me. I was surprised this morning just by the amount of people that were commuting into work.
By the amount of people, huh? That's what it's like here in New York City. Don't talk about it like it's a bad thing.
I didn't say that with any bad intentions toward the city. I'm sorry if that came off the wrong way there. Well, anyway, I look forward to working with you here. There are things that I might not know much about yet, but I'll do my very best.
Do you think you'll be able to do anything within the HQ when you've come all the way here from the boonies? I'm sure that soon enough you'll be running away with your tail tucked between your legs.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? I'm never planning to run away from the job I have now.
You're from the country and you have nothing to offer this company's HQ. I'm the one saying that, and I've never been wrong about anything.
Well, I'm sorry, but you may be wrong this time. Are you talking poorly about me just because I'm from the countryside? I'm sure you're not happy to see me moved into the HQ from that smaller office out there, but...
Of course I'm not happy. You all don't know what good culture is out here. You'll never be able to adapt to the culture we have here in this sophisticated city of New York City. Why were you allowed to come here? You won't make it here even a month. And if you want to know why that is, it's because you're a redneck.
I wasn't born in the countryside, though. And you thinking I won't make it here very long is another misunderstanding on your part. Bernard, why are you being so aggressive with me? Do you really not like the idea of what the countryside has to offer?
Of course I don't. I have worked in this HQ all my life in the center of this city. And I will not allow myself to become close to anyone that's from somewhere as dirty as a country. And I do not need some redneck working in my department. And from what I've heard, the work you did out there at that small little office doesn't compare to what we all do here. So you'll never be able to understand and complete your work here. You still think you're welcome here for some reason. Normally, someone like you should just quit being asked to work at the HQ.
Bernard, please excuse me, but I feel as though there really is a huge misunderstanding between us.
When I heard yesterday that you'd be coming to this office, I was a bit concerned for my department. The CEO stated that you were here for some special reason, but I know that's all a load of crap. But there's nothing I can do about what the CEO believes. I don't even think that I'll be able to drink with you during the party later. Why don't you just stay away from it?
Could you please stop talking about me like that? I am in a position that was gifted to me by the company. You think I'd give that all away to please you? I'm not going to do something so strange.
The only thing strange here is a redneck thinking that they have any right to be in this company's HQ. I've thought about all that a lot since yesterday. If you come to that party, you're going to regret it, Jesse.
And in your case, before making anyone regret anything, you should take a look in the mirror and fix that poor attitude of yours. If you continue to talk poorly about me and my experience working for that smaller office, you'll be the only one regretting anything.
Go back to the farm, you pig.
I'm shocked. You really went ahead and poured your beer all over me at the party.
Well, that's perfect for a redneck like you, right? You should be pleased by that.
I can see you're really happy with yourself for doing something so ridiculous. But are you unaware of the consequences that'll come from this?
What did that piss poor attitude? I'm your manager, right? Well, there's no way you'd know how to act towards me. After all, you're just a no-brain redneck. You all don't have the common sense needed to work here. And as I've heard, there's no common sense for you all out there anyway.
Looks like you're going to be regretting all of this very much now.
Well, that right there was me introducing myself to you. I had to make sure to do it the right way since you're from somewhere as dirty as the countryside. Maybe pouring all that high-quality beer on you was a mistake, considering you all drink crappy beers out there. Oh, please forgive me for that. What the hell do you think you're doing saying it's your CEO? Come over to me right now. This is the executive director. Huh? Something for me? Why would my boss be using the phone of a dirty pig? I will not let you get away with saying such rude things to this company's CEO. I found you. Get over here now! Who is this that I'm talking with right now? I'd love to have a moment to speak with you.
Just a second ago, the executive director grabbed my phone and started saying all of that to you so that he could find you. Bernard, I'm sure that he chewed you out pretty hard there just a second ago, right?
I'd like you to allow me to apologize to you. Do you think I can come and talk to you in person?
Even though you were just kicked out of the building a few minutes ago, I don't think you'll be allowed back in now to talk with me, correct?
Jesse, is it really true that you're the CEO of this company?
Yes, I'm the newly appointed CEO.
What? Seriously?
You've been very rude to me. And do you really think I'd lie to you now about being the CEO? There's nothing in doing that for me. Now, if you'd like to know how I got here, it's due to the fact that I had always worked closely with the previous CEO. And after a few years of proving my strength, I was given the position when he left. And that's why I was moved from that smaller office to the HQ. If before you had poured all that beer on me, you took a moment to look at the seat I was in, you would have noticed that it was the seat for the CEO.
I didn't notice a single thing like that. I'm so very sorry for that. Can you allow me to explain myself?
I don't need you explaining anything to me. I think that anything you have to say to me now is a total waste of my time. Have you started to let it all sink in now? That after doing what you've done to the CEO, the air around you has become a lot more constricting. That right there is what'll happen after the actions you've made.
Well, I never knew a thing about you. I'm so sorry. I seriously never knew that you had come all the way to the HQ to become the new CEO. I just assumed you were another redneck coming to ruin the work culture we have within the main office. And that made me become very irresponsible with my actions and language towards you. I'm embarrassed by what I've done.
After all that, I'm sure you want to apologize to me. But maybe you should have acted more your age and waited to see the man I really am.
I know that. But I'm apologizing to you now, right? So isn't it time you act like a respectful CEO and forgive me?
Oh?
Huh?
You think after what you'd done to me today at a party, a simple apology would fix everything for you? Are you always acting as though you're better than everyone else? Do you not understand yet that I am your CEO now and will always be better than you? You're way too late now with those apologies, Bernard.
Huh? What do you mean too late? Don't say what I think you wanted to say, please. I'm not too late yet, right?
I understand that you never knew who I was when talking to me, but that does not mean you can act like a schoolyard bully to me. Personally, I couldn't care less about what you did to me today, and it was a little funny. But to talk poorly about that countryside office like you have when they are working in the same company as you, I don't take that kind of thing lightly, especially now that I'm CEO. There are a lot of employees working in that office who put in way more effort than half the people here. And to me, they are worth just as much, if not more than some of you here are to this company. But if every time I brought one of them over to come work in the HQ, and they were met with your spoiled attitude, I'd be burnt out having to act as their mediator.
I would never act that way, though. I don't mean to be that kind of person to everyone that comes from there. I see now that this time I may have gone a little overboard and I regret it.
Well, you seeing that only now, it is too late for you, Bernard.
What do you mean by that?
Did you know that the office you've been making fun of isn't just the place where I started out?
Huh?
It's also the office that your last CEO started working at before he was promoted to the position of CEO.
Huh? He was there as well?
Did you already know that and still decided to treat me as horribly as you did?
No, I never knew he was from that small office, actually. He didn't look like the type of man that would come from a redneck background.
I'm really not sure what you have against the countryside and rednecks, but making fun of anyone that comes from there is a huge blemish on your character. Your attitude really has been a stain on this company's image for a long time now.
I just heard that from another pig from that small office in the middle of nowhere was coming here. And I just thought it'd be funny to rough them up a bit.
Is that so? Was it fun for you?
No, it wasn't funny for me at all. I was a complete idiot for all of that, and I apologize.
You're telling me that because I'm from the countryside and worked at that smaller office, that it'd be funny to pour beer all over me in my expensive suit?
No, I don't think that's funny anymore now. I just happened to get a little too carried away is all.
A man in your position, as the manager of one of this company's largest departments, got carried away with picking on someone to the point they pour beer on them? You're not in 3rd grade anymore, Bernard. As I recall, you're older than I am, right? And you've been the manager of that department for over 5 years now? I think that it's a bit strange that you were put into that position.
I understand you completely. Even I wondered from time to time why I was put in the position as manager. But I'll take responsibility for what I've done to you by paying for your suit to be cleaned.
Of course you will.
If we can just act as though what had happened today never actually happened, then we can move on from this and continue doing our daily business.
I told you that apologies like that are too late. Everyone at the party already saw the kind of person you are. And they have all given up on wanting to work with you in this company.
Everyone has? Well, then what should we do about this? Does this mean that I should go and apologize to all of them for my actions as well?
That's not what any of this means, Bernard. Nobody in this company finds the apologies you give to bear any meaning.
Huh? They don't mean anything to them.
So you apologizing to them will get you nowhere. You have gone on far enough with your poorly thought out actions, and as the CEO, I must take care of you at once.
Take care of? What the hell are you talking about now?
I'm saying that you're fired.
Huh? Fired? You have no way that you could do that to me, right?
Why don't I have a way to?
I'm a manager here of one of the largest departments.
And I'm the CEO.
No, well, I know that, but you have only just been given the position of CEO, right? And you only worked at the middle of nowhere before this, right?
And here we go again with you acting as though me working out there is a good enough reason to talk poorly of me. Where I worked before my current position has nothing to do with me firing you or not. I'll have you know that I was born and raised in Manhattan, and me working out at that office does not take away the fact that I worked my butt off there. I have no idea why you think New York City is this amazing place that is full of nice people and everyone should respect. And I'd say the way you think about yourself being here is the exact reason why you've never moved up any further from the job you have now.
Please, listen to me, please! So, I have been working for this company for so long now, was gifted the position of manager. And I never had to work at that crappy office to get here, but you did! So what makes you think you can fire me when you have only been at the HQ for a few days?
This isn't just me wanting to fire you.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Even after you apologized to your last CEO, he was left furious about your attitude. And just before he had retired and given me the position, he told me that you were on your way out as well.
Hold on a frickin' second. He said that? There's no way he'd say something like that about me, right?
Unfortunately for you, it's the truth. He originally wanted you demoted and removed from here.
Demoted? And what do you mean removed from here?
Well, I mean he wanted you moved somewhere else.
I can't believe this.
So, before I go through with firing you, I think I'll have you moved out to the smaller office for a little while. There you can be surrounded by the things you hate and perhaps learn a bit from them. And I hope that you'll gain a bit more common sense while there that most other adults have.
Wait, please! I'll never be able to make it out there. I'm a city boy and I have been all my life.
Is that the case? Well, then I guess you'll have to be fired now.
Please, do not do that to me either. I'll definitely not survive if I'm fired.
After how you've acted towards me and the rest of the company, you have only two options. One is going to that smaller office and being demoted, and the other one is being fired. Do you understand?
I understand, but I'm sorry for what happened and want you to understand that. I've worked so hard to become a department manager here, and so what you want to do with me is heartless.
All these are are the punishments for how you've acted. There's nothing heartless about karma, Bernard. If you want someone to come and help you out of all this, then maybe go find yourself a therapist to teach you how to handle your demented character. Anyway, I have nothing else to say to you. I'll give you a small amount of time to think between choosing to be fired or move out to the countryside and work. Thank you so much for your work you put in as a manager in the HQ. After all of that, everyone within the company heard of the way Bernard treated the new CEO, and were speechless as what he did was unthinkable to most normal adults. And due to that, no one was willing to side with him. And so after being given two choices, to be fired or move to the country, he chose to move to the countryside and work out there. However, after that, he was overwhelmed by the kindness that a lot of his co-workers there began to show for him, and began to break down because everything in the country was too different from the cold and grey atmosphere of the big city that he was used to. Of course, he had no choice but to stick with the job he had now, because the only other option was becoming a farmer where he was at. And so he continued to work with the company, but only this time without ever saying a word to anyone and never going out after work. It'd be nice of him to learn a thing or two from the new culture he's been brought into, and about how to be a proper adult, because that'll be the only way he has a chance of returning to New York City.